Hi everyone, this is Shivani. I run the webinar program at LeadSquared. Thank you so much for joining another LeadSquared webinar. It's been a while actually since we did one for the education sector. So here we are. We are talking about the importance of a seamless student experience to boost enrollments. I also have with me Anil and Rahul who will be taking us through this session. So Rahul is the co-founder of Purnima University and Anil is the sales director at LeadSquared who is focusing specifically on the higher education sector. So lots to learn from the experts today. Some of the things that they will cover are, of course, the importance of a student experience during enrollments, how to use technology to bring a seamless process into your admission process rather, best practices to increase inquiry to enrollment rates, and of course, we can't not have the webinar without talking about the impact of COVID. So we will touch upon that as well. So let's go to Rahul first. Rahul, if you could please share a few lines about yourself, about Purnima University, and anything at all that you want the audience to know today.
Hello everyone, I am Rahul and I'm the co-founder of Purnima University, and it's a family-run entity. My family is the promoter of the group, and I joined I joined hands with my father in 2011, and since 2017 I've been working as a as a wholesale administrator for Purnima Group, and I'm sort of a bridge between our sponsoring body and the group. So I am a technology freak guy. I am social media enthusiast, and I was the one who started off. Who was starting in 2011 to disrupt the routine administrative issues and programs in my university. So definitely I'll cover a few things in my presentation, but I use technology in and out, and from morning till late night I'm just on the go. I've tried to resolve a lot of problems in my organization pertaining to communication gaps, and probably that will help you to understand me better and my organization better, that how we work towards a seamless system for the students, a seamless experience for the students. So thank you Shibani and Anil and LeadSquared to call me, to invite me, and it's a great honor and privilege to be amongst you, like-minded people of similar age group from different corners of the world. So yeah, looking forward to interact with you all.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rahul, and thank you so much, Shivani. Hi, everybody. This is Anil. I work in the capacity of director sales for LeadSquared. It's almost 15 years now, working with various organizations like IBM, Times of India, Reed Elsevier Group, all hand in hand with multiple SaaS and tech platforms. I enjoy doing sales, and apart from my normal work life, I think before even joining LeadSquared, and also today, I play cricket for a academy in Gurgaon. That is one of the hobbies that I have, and plus I am also there as a guest faculty teaching sales into a lot of B schools. So that is again another hobby that I have. So that is all from my side, and I think we hope that this will be a very insightful session for all of us, and looking forward to a lot of questions in the end. So over to you, Rahul and Shivani.
Awesome, thank you. I did not know that, Anil. I came to know a lot of new things about you today. Okay, with that, let's get started with the session. A quick reminder to everyone who's joined: if you have questions for Rahul or Anil, please put them on chat, and they will be happy to address them once they finish presenting. With that, Rahul, please go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, so thank you, Shivani, again, and so my presentation is a very small and very basic. I'm not a good presenter, but I tried to do justice with the event, and I made a small presentation of 6-7 slides, and I hope you guys can see my presentation. Shivani, just confirm if you are watching it.
Yes, we can see it. Yeah.
Okay. So as I said, I'm not a good presenter, but I'm an architect by qualification. So you would see some colors and some humor in my presentation. And whatever I'm speaking is out of my experience, out of my heart. No speech, no pre-recorded or pre-written information that I would be sharing. So it is all by my experience and original copyrighted material. So of course, everyone, we as a higher education, persons, we need to understand that the age group that we are dealing, it's above 18 years of age. The students are independent, they are mature, they are they are they would not want to be dependent on their parents because they have that kida of earning, and they want to be do things on their own. And that is the reason why we are expecting, why they expect a seamless experience at an institutions, because they are no more at school, they want to take their own decisions. So every higher education organization on one end is a grooming institute which grooms a student by all sort of rules, regulation, usul, and all these things. But at the other end, it's a service industry. We need to understand that higher education is now changing. It is not like that chalk and duster thing which used to be in 90s or early 2000. We are moving towards a far advanced world. We are preparing ourselves for flying cars, automated cars, driverless cars. So similarly, students expect that their experience at an institute should be so seamless that they should, get everything in tap of a button. They should be able to, their queries should be resolved very quickly. If there are any grievances, should be resolved very quickly. So that is the reason why we started off with Purnima University, because we were into education since 2000, but we were running few engineering colleges which did not have autonomy, which were actually affiliated to the government setup, and there was no flexibility to bring in the student. There is no flexibility to decide our own curriculum, and things are pretty laid back. So when we came up with the university, our vision was simple and very clear, that we have to make our student globally competitive. That was our vision, and that is still our vision. And in all our activities, in all our actions, we make sure that our stakeholders, which are students, parents, teachers, and family members of the teachers, are way ahead than others, and they should be able to survive in this competitive world. And hence, our vision always says that team spirit and dignity of labor is a key to face the global competitive challenges. So at Purnima, when I joined in 2011, the first task that I did was to make set protocols for student grievances. Earlier, there were some protocols, but there was not a system, there was not a format, there was no proper labeling, there was no proper, so administrative procedures were not given importance. And when I joined in, I made sure that all our student, faculty members, staff members has a simple administrative system to get their problems resolved. And hence we came up with with our internal system of dealing with these issues called as SAP. So we call it SAP, which is not the SAP software, but it is a standard administrative procedure that we follow. So all our forms are uploaded on the website. The link is over AMP. I will not go into the details. It has, email IDs, contact numbers, forms which students need to fill out when they are in the campus. It has a system of emailing and raising tickets when students are students are at their home. So we made sure that the procedures should be so transparent. It is published on our website. Anybody can go to our website, follow that process, do the follow the steps, and the query would be resolved. On the other hand, my team members who are resolving these queries are also equipped to resolve these queries within 24 to 48 hours. That's the maximum time we target to resolve the student queries. Currently most of us are staying at home, so we have given old files of our students who were of batch 2000, 2001, 2002, and we gave 500 files to all our staff members who cannot teach from home. For example, technical assistants, office executives. We gave 500 files to each person to digitize them while they are at home. So this is the best utilization of time that we are doing. So, but the experience should not just be limited to the students who are already admitted, but also should be relevant for the prospective students who wish to take admission at Purnima or any other higher education institute. So in our admission process, in our lead capturing process, we have made a streamlined system wherein a student would, or a prospective student would, actually enter into the system, and what would be his journey to make sure that he finally admits at the institute. So that seamless connection, I would not go into the details, but just to give you an idea, like this is again an image copied and pasted from my website, that we have laid out the complete process, and at the it looks very simple on the front end because it's just the 6 steps, but there is a lot of thing going on behind the scene and behind the stage. Probably Anil would cover that up, but there is lot of efforts that the team does to follow these to simplify the process.
Absolutely, Rahul.
So
I think I will touch upon those, yes, during my
yeah,
slides.
and I think the integration is the key. It looks very easy, but it is very difficult because you need to join various pieces of tools and technology combined with human resource, and impact of pandemic, and all of that stuff creates more complexity into the integration. So but integration is the key to have that seamless experience. Integration would of Google My Business with WhatsApp, having QR codes on your brochure, making the payment system easy. Student who have entered into the system but not yet paid would be seeing similar ads. I mean, everyone has experienced this, that if we want to go from, let's say, Jaipur to Delhi, and we search flights from Jaipur to Delhi, but we don't buy that ticket, we often see that same advertisement again and again, which is called remarketing. I'm sure all of you are aware of what remarketing is, but yes, that is a part of the integration, and that's what helps a student to have a seamless experience. So, but then again, integration should not be done just like that, and we should not, without integrating, we should not go into the market and play just like that. I think gathering all the resources before we plan is very important. Otherwise, you would be in a situation where you have committed something, but you don't have the data, and then those problems will grow bigger and bigger. So another step that we took is deleting all our official WhatsApp groups. I mean, just 2 weeks back, we were having our internal meeting, and all of us thought that we were already using MS Teams from quite a long time, but only from past 2 weeks we have deleted all our official WhatsApp groups and switched over to Teams completely. and within a month we would be deleting all our student WhatsApp groups and focusing on one platform, which is Teams. And then we're integrating everything with Teams. I mean, we are integrating the LMS with Team, we are integrating the marks and grading system with Team, we're integrating the examination assignment, plagiarism check, all of these things in Team. We are also integrating our HR policies into Team. So there are wonderful apps in which an employee can take approvals in Teams within a click of a button. We're also planning to, on the left hand side, you can see a small app called CT Circle. So this is a, I mean, still in preparation kind of thing that we are doing, wherein the student would get all their pending fees, their marks, their attendance in a click of a button. There would be a chat bot wherein you would just click fees and all your pending fees would be visible. You don't need to go to the website, you don't need to go to any office, you don't need to remember your registration number either. Just one login ID from which you are logging in, and then rest everything would be on a tap of a button. So this is a seamless experience, and this is not just on the student part but also on the faculty part. So my faculty members who are at Purnima are using this wonderful app called Insights in Microsoft Teams, which gives them a clear dashboard of how many students are inactive, how many students are active, what is the most active day, and all sort of analysis that one need to have to improve his or her efficiency is visible right in front of you. So you would see that this app being used by one of our faculty members is a dashboard, and it gives a complete information. There are a few more. So when you go into the detail, you would understand that you would see that we can also trace out that at what time a student has opened the file, at what time he has downloaded the file, shared the file, how much time a student was there in a meeting. So like this particular student was in a meeting for 62 minutes out of the 68 minutes. So no need to take manual attendance, no need to take check how many students have attended how much time. You can easily download these things as a report in an Excel sheet, do your analysis, present it, or grade them accordingly. So I would say that a seamless student experience is not it is driven by a lot of integration and a will to change. I would say one person should make sure that one person should not be resistant to change, and they should not do, they should not take shortcuts. I see that these are little things which take time if we plan it properly, but once it is planned properly, once it is, a lot of brain and mind has gone into its planning, then definitely the experience would be seamless. So it is not like a desi jugaad. We have to be consistent, we have to be modifying this again and again. We have to see what is going wrong, correct it again, do it. So I see the Western world as a good example where they have very simplistic ways to deal with things because of the technological advancement. And hence I always say that I always say to my team members also that don't take shortcuts, don't come up with jugaads. Okay, like there's a system of chatbot, you can easily integrate your WhatsApp with your website, but don't do a just don't just cut the corners and leave it on a particular counselor. Make it a very streamlined process. So jugaad should be not like this, like a desi and a Pakistani way of jugaads, but even if you're doing it, it should be like somewhat different and somewhat unique, like using Microsoft Teams or like probably LeadSquared, which Anil will tell later, and it should be class apart. I mean, this is the kind of jugaad that we are looking at, not, you know, this kind of desi jugaad. We have to be here. All of us have to be at this position. We have to bring ourselves, to a level that the Western world would see our progress and would see that, okay, now we are also capable of doing this. Indians are not considered as a of a mindset of a service mindset के नहीं होते हैं. Whereas the Western world, आपने देखा होगा कि बहुत जगह रेस्टोरेंट में कुछ खाना खराब आ जाता है तो वो बोलते हैं कि हम इस डिश को चेंज कर देते हैं. हमारे यहाँ अभी भी थोड़े बहुत झगड़े होते हैं, और फिर उसके बाद में फाइनली जब कस्टमर जो है वो चिल्लाता है और वो रिव्यूज देता है गंदे गंदे, उसके बाद में कोई उनका मैनेजर आके बोलता है कि okay, I'll change it, or maybe I'll do something in the bill. So this is confrontation. I would see this as this is not a seamless experience. We need to be seamless, and we need to be open to hear views from our students, because eventually they only make our system better. The more they compel us to streamline things, the better things would be at our institution. So I would say that don't do jugaad. If you're doing it, do it this way. And yeah, I'm open to questions. That's all from my side in terms of presenting. And I had a lot of data, but in the paucity of time, I would just restrict myself to this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rahul. I have made Anil the presenter to take it forward from here.
So just let me know, everybody, and thank you so much, Rahul. I think that was very insightful. Let me know if my screen becomes visible.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Wonderful. So I think I'll quickly start with the presentation. And Rahul, it was a wonderful presentation. I think you have put it across so many things in very simple words, I must say. Very easy, and I think it was very descriptive. So I'll take it on from here. So
Yeah.
I think in the beginning of the presentation, I would definitely like to touch upon the impact of the second wave, which we had on education specifically. So it was a very decisive financial moment, which parents, or let's say students, have seen. So I think income stability has become very questionable, be it a business or a service class, in the second wave of this pandemic, and obviously, which is leading to a lot of decrease in registrations. Now we all know that now the 12th board exams have been cancelled, or when students kind of look to apply for a higher education, be it experienced or non-experienced students, I think what people generally look for is an experiential learning, what you get in the campus, wherein you meet people, make professional and personal bonds, meet faculties physically. I think since these options are not available, I think this is also one of the reasons we are seeing some decrease in the registration. And obviously, there is also some amount of uncertainty which a student has today regarding his placements, that companies are hiring, not hiring, or how my placements shall be in this era of pandemic. So I think these are few things which have led to decrease in registrations. What we have also noticed is since this is all pandemic and frequent lockdowns, uh, campus visits have tremendously gone down, and even university, colleges, and education institutions who are operating traditionally, now they have to move to online channels to kind of capture students. So this is one major shift which was there in the first wave, but I think the second wave is pushing everybody to go digital. And the biggest transformation what we have seen so far was the adoption of technology, and adoption of technology by all the faculties, teachers, and professors who were kind of accustomed to teach on traditional methods using a blackboard. But now I think everybody is moving to a virtual whiteboard. So I think this is the impact I feel which we have seen in the second wave. I'll move to the other slide wherein we will discuss that how LeadSquared will enable institutions to tackle the second wave challenges. I think few were highlighted by Rahul. I think I will definitely touch upon those as well. So basically, when we talk about student experience, and let's say in this second wave challenge, what typically a student will look for? He would look for an online financial assistance because now banks are closed sometimes, or making DDs to make fees payments, that has become a challenge. Or either a student will look for certain aid from the institution themselves, wherein they can get some partial payment option, or certain scholarships during the era of pandemic. As LeadSquared as an organization, what we have done is we have partnered with few online vendors wherein institutions can leverage these, and they can pass it on the benefits to the students. They can connect the students with these organizations wherein student loans are very seamless, and it's a complete online assistance what a student gets with our vendors that we have partnered with recently. Uh, Admission applications, I still remember my college days. If we talk about, I think I started from Delhi University, and at our time it was all you have to walk in inside a college, do a physical application submission with each of the colleges. But now I think it's more of an STP journey what we have built so far, and what I think a lot of institutions have migrated to. So it's a complete straight through the process journey, which I will definitely be discussing. So that is basically our LeadSquared application portal. And since we are filling all these applications online, that also raises a question what Rahul also touched upon. Basically, there has to be some query or a complaint management system. So in the portal itself, while filling a form, whatever questions a student has, we try to address all these queries and concerns, and we redirect them to the counselor on our platform itself. And the counselor can basically answer those questions. Otherwise, they remain as a task pending in their system, which again raises a flag for them. So basically, the overall response time of student query management system has drastically gone down. So, if we talk about how do we improve all these overall journey for for the student and the institution, how do we reduce the turnaround time? So, since Rahul mentioned that integrations play a major role, to be honest, I think a lot of our customers know we are an API first architecture platform. Whatever integrations that you want to do, all our APIs are listed on public domain. And whether you want to do a pull and push of data, that happens very seamlessly on our platform. First is what we have done, we have built connectors, be it your Facebook, retargeting, remarketing, all of them, or let's say your telephony system, all of them are in the phase of they are available in terms of a connector with us. So you don't even have to do an API integration, let's say for 100 to 100 pieces. For others, let's say wherein you want to do an ERP or a university management system integration, we have open APIs architecture. You can do all of it. And now, since we have integrated with Zoom and Google, you can schedule your interviews online. So let me jump to the student application flow. A very simple flow, yet very comprehensive in its own. The moment we capture a journey, or let's say the moment we capture an inquiry of a student, automatically the platform will basically verify the email and the call. So what I hear from a lot of vice chancellors and founders during my conversations with them is, Anil, we work with a lot of third parties, and we do get a lot of leads from them. But then, how do we, before passing it to the counselor, before wasting his time, how do we ensure that the email and the calls get verified in the platform? So we do have a mechanism wherein the system can automate these journeys, and at the first level itself, you can have an email and a call verification, and whatever is not verified, that moves as a junk in the system. Now, the moment the query is captured, student moves to the student application portal, student application, wherein the fee can also be collected on the portal itself. And the beauty is, we do a payment gateway integration for you, and all this transactions, what students are doing in terms of the application fee or the token fee, all of them straight away moves to the institution bank account. We do direct payment gateway integration with the institution itself. Now, there are two journeys basically. Once a student reaches to a fee application payment, either he will make the payment, or either he will get stuck somewhere in the journey, let's say where the fee is not paid. The platform is smart enough to kind of recognize such a student, and it pushes a lot of marketing engagement and a counselor engagement call, wherein the counselor can help the student in real time and kind of push them to make an application fee payment and move to an online screening examination. Now, during the online screening examination as well, the platform has the capabilities wherein, basis the scores which are populated, either an acceptance or a rejection is sent to the student. And at the same time, if there is a rejection, and if we have built those logics in the system, the platform will automatically start nurturing the student and start suggesting them few other courses which they can also enroll for. Now, from the online screening part, we move to a Zoom or let's say Google integration, wherein interview scheduling emails and automations can be sent, and on upon acceptance, let's say once the interview is done, a acceptance letter is automatically generated from the platform, and a reminder is sent to the student to accept or kind of move on with the process. Now, since we have got many requests from various institutions that we should also incorporate the process of accepting the token fee on the platform. So now it is there. Once the offer letter is accepted, you can also pay the token fee. You can share those links with the students, and student can make those transactions digitally online on the platform itself. And once the token fee is paid, the student is enrolled and admitted. Now, this is a typical student application flow. Now, at the same time, a lot of institutions also requested that, hey, Anil, we should also have some student placement services also available on the platform. So, LeadSquared as a platform definitely has capability wherein the placement streams can also leverage the platform to target a lot of companies and various HR heads, and they can interact, engage, and they can run those campaigns and activities on the platform. So overall, this is the entire student application flow. And if somebody feels that the placement and alumni services should also be added, LeadSquared definitely has the provision to add that. Now, what are the best strategies to power enrollment? When we start interacting, or let's say the moment we capture a lead in the system, we do not even have to do an integration with any of the social media platform. As I mentioned, we have ready-made connectors. So be it your Facebook, Google, or any other channel wherein you kind of capture a lead, you can simply connect with all those platforms, and LeadSquared as a platform will ensure that there is zero lead leakage. We will track all these leads and through various integrations, and we'll track, and we will automatically, the system will assign these leads to our counselors. As we also discussed, integrations, I think integrations mentioned by Rahul, I think definitely this plays a major role in any other in for any organization or an institution. Why? Because the moment it's basically, it's like a bridge, and the moment you have a broken or a weak bridge, there could be possibility of data loss. Now, to ensure that, we have kind of built the platform in such a way that it comes as an open API architecture. All our APIs are listed on public domain. Integrations comes very handy when it comes to LeadSquared platform. You can do a lot of personalized marketing. Whatever content that you send to the student, it is all personalized. Personalized. It goes by his first name, last name, and the best part is you can also track a lot of student behavior on the platform. So, what does my student want, and what is he looking for? What content is he looking for on my website? All those behavior matrix details are kind of given to the counselors before they kind of interact with any of the students. And now we have also kind of made the provision to schedule interviews online. So you can either leverage Zoom or Google Meet, and you can kind of do all your interview scheduling online on LeadSquared platform itself. You don't have to move to anywhere else. Now, automate and improve conversions. I think this comes as a question again many a times from various institutions, that how are you different from a competition, or Anil, how will you help us, let's say, improve conversions? Now, we have a method of capturing leads automatically from various platforms, let's say your Google or your Facebook or any other third party campaign. Now, when we capture these leads, we do not just capture these leads, we also kind of assign a quality score to each of these leads. Now, the distribution logic criteria could be very simple. So we can distribute it basis the course type, language, location, or a round robin to each of the counselor, or basis the availability of the counselors. But if you say that, Anil, I want to see a 15-20% higher conversion from day one, what we can also do for you is we can solve a complex logic of distribution, which is a skill based distribution, wherein I fix up a logic that in the system, wherein I say that the quality lead goes to the quality counselor. So counselors who have higher conversion, they should get quality leads. That level of complexity can be easily handled in LeadSquared platform, and that technology can be leveraged easily within the platform. Now, leveraging technology, I would talk about automations and certain reports which come very handy at everyone's disposal. So the idea is to kind of help the admission and the counseling teams to plan their day better. One major challenge what any institution or organization faces whenever they implement technology is adoption. Adoption is a major concern whenever we bring a new software or new technology. Now, as LeadSquared, what we have done is we have tried to simplify the life of the counselor. We have given them one single screen wherein they can plan their entire day. You can have multiple buckets like these, the way we see here. Let's say how many application forms are filled, how many of them are new inquiry, how many of them are incomplete, how many of them are brochure downloads, or these buckets can also be changed depending on your business requirement. You just log into one single screen and you click on each of these buckets, and you can just go to, let's say, Lakshman Roshan as one customer, whether you want to call, send an SMS, WhatsApp, email, whatever action that you want to probably take for this particular student, you can do it from this one single screen. So imagine your counselor making 50, 60, 70, 80 calls in a day. Even if you are able to reduce 10-15 seconds by doing lesser number of clicks for him and giving him a one single interface wherein he can perform all the tasks, he will be able to kind of reach out to more students. You are not only reducing the average handling time of a student here, you're also kind of increasing the FCR, which is the first call resolution for your counselors. Again, the other major aspect that I would like to cover in this particular slide is, since a lot of our counselors because of pandemic are working from home, and that also raises a lot of concern for security, that there should not be any student data leakage, or there should not be any screenshot that people should take from the platform. So what we have done is we have built a capability wherein the mobile numbers and the email addresses can be masked in the platform. Even if you take a screenshot, you will not be able to capture a detail. And downloads are definitely not permissible within the platform. So we call them smart views. This majorly plays a major role in a counselor's life. Now, you can also kind of plan a day for your counselors or your team who's working from home. You can organize the entire day structure, that what all appointments have been booked for them. So what all calls they need to make today and what time they need to make those calls. They will have a complete smart view which will talk about their entire day plan, and it will have tasks associated around with each of these activities for the day. So they can plan their entire day much better. And work from home is very feasible. Even if, let's say, your counselors do not have connectivity or any other, they're facing any of those challenges, our mobile application can be leveraged there. It works very seamlessly even in offline mode. Whatever discussions they do with the students, or whatever actions that they want to take, even in the absence of connectivity, they can still enter those details, and the moment we come online, they can automatically be synced with the platform. We enable all the institutions to kind of do an omni-channel engagement. So as mentioned by Rahul, Google remarketing and Facebook remarketing plays a major role. Not only in omni-channel, you can basically automate any sort of flow that an organization wishes to have. You can automate all those flows with us. So we kind of help an organization or an institution to uh, remove all the guesswork from their sales representative, counselors, or advisors' life. We will automate the entire workflow, whatever you wish to or you probably want to do. So basically, let's say this is a very simple example that I've taken, and wherein let's say the moment an application inquiry is received, an email is sent with the course details, and we are not bothering the student too much on the same day. We are putting a wait condition there that hey, let's wait for 2 days, and then we are kind of going ahead and doing a if and else condition that if there will be some action by the admission officer, or either if there is no action, then we can send it to a Google or a Facebook remarketing campaign. So these are very simple workflows, and these are all drag and drop. You don't have to do any coding in the system while making these workflows. And Rahul, I think I have shown these to you during our discussions. If you can add few words before I move to the next slide, I think that will be really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I was amazed to see this workflow automation when you presented it to me. And I think that makes, so as you know, complex it is at the back end, as simple it is at the front end, if I talk in a layman language. And I think it's a very good tool one should use, and this is all this is in my bucket list.
Okay, thank you so much, Rahul. I think thank you so much for the kind words, and I think we shall definitely do a discussion on automation separately as well. So I think as a manager, or let's say as a vice chancellor, as a founder, what we do is we don't force you to kind of log in inside the platform. Whatever counselor performance reports that one wishes to have, these are all automated. These are auto scheduled to your mailbox. So it's like a newspaper. You can see what the organization is doing, what people are doing within the organization, and how things are moving, and how admissions are moving basically so how many inquiries we had, how many of them contacted, enrolled, fees paid, all of it can be seen in terms of reports. Another problem that I constantly hear is we work with a lot of third parties who transfer leads to us, and at times we enter into a situation wherein these leads already exist in the system. So we have built a publisher panel wherein, let's say, if it is coming from vendor A, B, C, but we would know who was the primary owner of the lead. So who was the first one to kind of pass that lead in the system? Those all minute details shall be available in the form of reports in the system. And I think with that, I would like to kind of end the presentation. And these are few clients that we are serving currently. These are few names that I wanted to highlight. And this is all from my side.
Thank you so much, Anil and Rahul. Yes, let's take up some questions now. So my first question is from Mohammed Mustafa, who says, okay, thank you, Mr. Rahul, Mr. Anil, for your informative PPTs. I have a question. So given the COVID pandemic, how are you recruiting new students? And what strategies are you focusing on right now?
Shivani, if you can repeat the question, I think I missed that question.
So he's saying, given the current times, this time of the pandemic, how are you recruiting new students, and what are your focus areas for enrollment strategies?
Rahul, I think this is for you.
This is for our.
So if I talk about my organization, our team members are working from home, and we have completely digitized our processes by integrating our website with WhatsApp Business, and we are doing all our conventional methods to get the lead. We are calling them, converting them to come and register for the university, and then the registrations, I mean the leads that have been registered, are actually called up by senior counselors who tell them more about the academics, and that's how we convert them into admissions. So in that sense, I mean, the process is very simplified, just that nothing is possible in a physical manner at the moment. Nobody can travel, so but rest everything is done, seated at homes. So I am at my home, my team is at my home, our telecallers are at home. So made a process at the back end that all of us are able to work from home, and all of us are able to measure the output also while sitting at home. So that's what we are doing, and nothing unusual, very usual stuff. It's just that the integration, as Anil also emphasized and I also said in my presentation, is the key to monitor and get the best output. And one more thing that we are doing, so a lot of our faculty members, and not our faculty but our technical staff, office executives, are actually sitting at home. We have a policy of paying them annually, so we are paying them, but they don't have actual job of going into a lab and assisting the students, because that is not possible at the moment. So we have trained our staff members, our wardens, our accounts person, our officers. Even my HR manager said that she was calling around 50 students every day. So I've trained all of our staff members who are sitting idle to do calls and do a basic first touch to our prospective leads. And then when they filter them, that okay, these out of these 2000 leads. So I remember, I think 4 days back we were touching like 200 people per day. Now we are touching 5000 people per day.
That's an amazing number, Rahul. And I must say that optimal utilization of resources is probably done by you. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is a time people say admission ka time hai, kisi ko nikalo mat, because it would create a negative this thing. Then okay, I mean, theek hai, I mean, since we have taken all the fees, so we have to pay the salary. We are not cutting corners at that front. But then a person is either you do something which gives you more knowledge about what you are meant to do. So I have asked faculty members to enroll themselves in numerous online courses, Coursera, Udemy, NPTEL, Swayam. All of these things are going on. And one who has not enrolled himself, then we give around 40 to 50 leads every day. We assign them, and then by the end of the day, we take the feedback and enter it into our system.
Wonderful. So I think just to add to Rahul's point, I think yes, if this is something which can be done, I think we have a mobile application which comes very handy, wherein even if you want to track the duration of the call, or even if you kind of want to kind of have a check-in check-out feature, just to check the productivity or efficiency, a mobile application can be leveraged. You don't even need to have a laptop for that matter. You can just do all the calling from the mobile.
That will help. There are few of my faculty members who said that, I mean, technical staff who said that, sir, हम तो गांव में आए हुए हैं, यहाँ तो इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी तो बहुत दूर की बात है, 3 डंडे आते हैं हमारे यहाँ पे तो हम उनको WhatsApp पे भेजते हैं. We now give them 20, 30, 40 data on WhatsApp, because they cannot deny WhatsApp. I mean, everywhere at every corner of the world, WhatsApp is still accessible. So we are going to that extent. I mean.
So Rahul, I think to answer that further, I think that also becomes more of a manual process. You can just give them LeadSquared mobile application, which they can download from the Play Store, and system will automatically give them leads. So if they are getting WhatsApp connectivity, leads will automatically reach to them. We don't have to manually assign it to them. And
sure.
Whatever, and even if they are in offline mode, they'll still be able to kind of add activities on those. So the moment they come online, it will automatically sync and throw the data to you.
Yeah, I think that will be a great help to people who are in remote areas.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, I am moving to the next question. Anil, this one is for you. It's from Mahesh, who says, and Mahesh actually asked a previous question, so let me go to that first. So there are two questions for both of you actually. So Mahesh says, this is Professor Mahesh, Dean Admission of Global Business School, Hubli. His question is, how can we help upcountry students to understand the seamless admission process at our institute? Generating leads itself is a big task during this pandemic. So how to generate leads when most of the degree colleges are also running online classes? So that's the first part. Rahul, maybe you want to take that up. And the second part, Anil, I will maybe just say it out for
Increase
you.
your
You can
budget.
take it. Okay.
Digital
Increase your budgets and leads will come. I think lead generation is not a one-time activity. It's a year-long activity. An institution who is generating leads is not just because it is admission time, but it is because of that brand. And we have done, all our teachers rather, they do tremendous work during the whole year, and that is the reason why somebody refers to an institution. And I still believe that behind every lead there is a word of mouth publicity that has happened some way or the other. That is the reason why you got the lead. I mean, nobody will buy, let's say, Ratnagiri ka aam until unless he has not heard about it. So things we hear is things we buy and we purchase.
Okay, so I'm moving to the second part of Mahesh's question, which is for Anil. So he's saying, happy to know your clients, but all your clients that are mentioned are either coaching institutes or autonomous. But how about institutes affiliated to university? The challenges are different, and how can your organization help to make the admission process seamless for these institutes?
So I think because of the presentation, he's not able to see. So I think we clearly have one of the largest universities available and using LeadSquared platform in the country. So be it Amity or let's say Manipal or BML Munjal, Jaipuria, I think all of them are customers. So I think we have kind of kept a flavor for everybody that not only large universities in smaller colleges or training institutions, everybody can leverage the platform. The technology is built in such a way, it's actually built in such a way that this can be leveraged by anybody. And then how do we make it seamless? I think I tried to cover it one of my slides. We automate the entire
Just to
journey.
support Anil, just to
Yeah.
support you, I have my reservations on the question that it is difficult for an affiliated college to generate lead. I see it other way around. We are a group of organization where we have affiliated colleges also, and we have a private university also. We find it difficult for our university to generate the leads. For us, generating leads for affiliated colleges is far more simpler, because our affiliated colleges are always in the list of those government portals to be selected as one of the institutions. So many of our students or prospective students, when they seek out admission, they go for these government institutions, and affiliated colleges have the advantage that they are always in those lists. Even though, so now I see it other way around. I don't see this as a challenge. Rather, for affiliated colleges, this is an advantage. For us, it is definitely an advantage. I mean, we still have those affiliated colleges because we know that if sometimes, God forbid, if our university or we don't have good enrollments in the university, we'll definitely have good we'll have good enrollments in our affiliated colleges, because we are in the Rajasthan University Rajasthan admission process list. And there, without even doing any marketing, I mean, we get random 400 500 students who have never seen the campus, who have never visited our website, and suddenly gets enrolled in our admission process. That's all because they are remotely connected to a government website. And I feel that this is an advantage rather than rather than a disadvantage.
Yeah, and just to answer the question, Mahesh, I think if we talk about affiliated colleges or universities, I think they're serving almost more than 500 plus customers in India, and I think that is the biggest number that any software provider will have in India. So we are serving almost 500 plus customers, and if you want to see some affiliated colleges list, I think I am more than happy to have a one-on-one discussion wherein we can introduce you to a few of them. So we recently onboarded a couple of them, let's say Maya group of colleges, Dehradun, or there are a couple of more. So I work very closely with all of them. And yes, so affiliated colleges, yeah, we can automate the journey for you, and it is very easy. And it's a very easy platform which you can leverage to automate these journeys for your students.
All right. I am moving to the next question from Swati, who says, universities, colleges have the best resources, can hire the best technical engineers, can exercise more hacks, adopt the best approaches, and create an absolute value. But the frog isn't trying to jump from the well. Startups are the new hybrid model. The question is, how will the top management of universities and colleges fight the new hybrid approaches with old methodologies?
I think again the question for Rahul, and I can answer it to a certain extent. I think, see, what I am really sorry, I forgot the name of the person who asked the question, Shivani.
Swati.
So Swati, I think both the new startups and the large university college, I think both of them have, I think, very unique goals. I think they are not in a competition landscape to each other. Why? Because the university offers, let's say, a 3-4 year degree program on all the new tech startups. Or let's say Byju's, Vedantu, QMath, Unacademy, all of them they basically offer certain crash courses. So I think that the league of competition is completely different. I think both of them are looking at a they're both of them are complementing each other. I would say rather than a competition. So I think that is what I feel. I think further Rahul can add.
Yeah, I think I got the question. It is basically regarding the old mindset versus new innovations. And of course, old mindset government typical setup university versus a new edtech approach of higher education. And pandemic has just accelerated that process. So Swati, to answer that, I would see this as a challenge. Yes, it's a challenge, but at the same time someone from the organization, someone young, have to disrupt that. And I know it is difficult for staff members because ultimately whenever someone goes against their bosses they face problems. But I think in a very constructive manner you should be able to tell your management. And how I did it, I visited almost like 2 to 3 universities every time in summer vacations in the northern part of the country, and I wrote case studies about them and I presented it to the management. Okay, see, this is the best performing university of North India, this is their administrative structure, these were the challenges, this is the family background, that's how they started. And then I made an Excel sheet of comparison of 5 to 6 universities and kept it in front of my management, which was again so my organization's average, I mean the employees in my organization, the average age was around 45 5 years back, which is around 36 nowadays. So every month we calculate the average age. I make sure that the average age is below 40. So we have a mix of both, young people and the gray-haired persons. And because we cannot remove them entirely, they still have that, will, and they still have that. I mean, they're still necessary to the organization. And that hybrid working atmosphere has to be created by someone within the organization. And initially there will be a lot of resistance. uh, ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं समझें that it will, some magic will happen in just 2 months. It will take its own time. Education is one thing which I believe is a slow changed thing. And I mean it changes slowly, because if you see our NEP 2020 also, and all of these new things that are coming in, I think almost 1.5 years it's been NEP 2020 को आए हुए 1.5 साल हो चुका है, but अभी तक कुछ implement उसका, I mean only a few things have been implemented. So it takes its own time. You have to bear with it. You have to keep your patience level high and deal with the management. I think dealing with the elderlies is difficult, but if you have facts and figures, and if you have comparisons, you have data, then it becomes all the more easier. I remember, so when I came into the organization, I reported to two people, my father and my father's boss. So he was not actually his father, but he's like a godfather to my father. So I had a lot of resistance in my thoughts versus my father's thought, but my father's godfather actually came in between all the time, and gave me solutions of doing it in my own way while keeping my father happy. So this is a very routine thing. One should not feel disheartened of getting rejected. One should not feel disheartened that their proposals are getting rejected. One should keep on trying, and that's why I mentioned in my presentation that consistency is the key. If you leave everything in between just because you got someone scolded you in a meeting, or someone have said it in a different manner, or ego agar aap beech mein le aao, to fir I don't think anything is possible. The consistency has to be maintained, and one should take the onus upon him to change the system.
Absolutely.
I remember we used to have a lot of meetings in our organization when I joined in. 20, 25 people, 15 people in a room deliberating on few things. So when I took the charge, the first things, I removed all those meetings, and I said that I will connect with you personally, because in half of the meeting I used to cry when I just joined, because आप अपने father से कभी भी employee, I mean, now my father always treated me like a son, but as I entered into the organization, I was an employee and I was reporting to him. So he scolded me. I cried sometimes in between, in middle of meeting. I wanted to prove a point. He was not able to listen to me. But then one should not, just leave it like that. One should be firm and adamant of what you are believing, and I'm sure a lot of things will get easy for you.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I don't see any further questions coming in, so we are wrapping up just in time. If any of you have any further comments to add, please do before we conclude. But otherwise, thank you so much, Rahul, Anil, for a wonderful presentation and for guiding us through this journey.
Yes, and I think thanks Shivani for organizing this, and I think thanks Rahul. I think the last question that you answered, I think it actually touched me as well. So I think yes, a very informative session. I think you answered it very precisely. Thank you so much, and it was wonderful to be part of the session.
Absolutely, my honor and pleasure. And for those of you who do not know, I mean, this is a 1-hour webinar for you, but Shivani and Anil has put in a lot of hours and hours of efforts behind this, and we coordinated for like 3-4 times, and we decided what should we speak, who will speak first. So there is a lot of planning and plotting which happened before. Just like the admission process, you see a very seamless experience in front, but at the back end it is like a khichdi only, and it is very difficult to manage this stuff, and with so much of data and so much of and then again that data is so important that you cannot just lose that data to anyone. So security is also important, and I think these kind of webinars and platforms gives us a hope that we would be able to create that seamless experience. And I again thank all the organizations. There were 2 other persons in your team also who were always at the back end. Probably they are also here, but they are not visible. But thanks to Vivek and Nandita, if I'm not wrong, who were at the back end and who helped us out. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Rahul.
Thanks,
Thank you, Anil. Yeah, we are getting a lot of very nice comments from people in the audience also. Yeah, Mohammed he's from Kardan University in Afghanistan. So he's saying thank you so much everyone for organizing such a wonderful webinar. And yes, you will get the PPT and the recording. So as Rahul said, through these webinars, we are able to share knowledge. So we have another webinar coming up next week, which is on the call center solution use case for higher education. How can you track calls, record them, and enhance experience? So that's next week actually. So I have shared the registration page in the chat column. Feel free to join that session if you are available at that time. With that, we can conclude. I hope to see you all there again next week, I suppose. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Rahul. Thanks, Shivani. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.
See you.
So how do I get out?